The reason most people can't shift their identity is because you're trying to change yourself from inside yourself. It's like trying to read the label from inside the jar. You can't see clearly when you are the thing you're trying to change. So how do you shift into who you want to become? You go meta. I can show you how to do it in just 10 seconds. Think about something that bothers you. Now, ask yourself how you feel about what bothers you. Now, think about how you feel about what bothers you. You just went meta twice. It's that simple. Most people never realize they can do this so easily. Notice how much easier it is to change what bothers you when you go meta to it. Most methods try to change the jar from inside the jar by hoping and guessing. But when you learn to go meta, you step outside and see precisely what needs to shift. And this is the core of identity shifting, observing the patterns of your identity that are otherwise invisible to you so that you can change them. But here's where people get overwhelmed. Your identity isn't just one pattern. It's an enormous jar filled with beliefs, patterns, and stories you've been living your whole life. So how do you go meta to something that massive? Same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Even if it took the rest of your life to shift your identity, it would still be the best thing you've ever done. What could be more important than being the best version of you for the rest of your life? What I've discovered working with hundreds of clients over the past decade is that when you learn to go meta correctly, you can start shifting aspects of your identity today, not years, nor months. I'm going to show you exactly how. Here's a question most people never ask. How do you know who you are? You've probably wondered, who am I? But here's a different question entirely. How do you actually know who you are? What internal information tells you that? Most people never think about this. They just assume they know without questioning the mechanism behind it. Later, I'll guide you through a short meditation so you can experience this directly. Because once you understand the mechanism, once you see the structure of how you've constructed your sense of self, you can change it. Around 1970, at the University of California, Santa Cruz, two people did something that had likely never been done before. A linguistics professor named John Grinder and a mathematics student named Richard Bandler partnered up on an unusual project. Their goal was not to find what's observably true, like scientists do. They were curious about the observation itself. Instead of trying to find objective truth, they wanted to understand subjectivity. How does something become true for you? In other words, how do we construct our experiences and create meaning from them? If experience itself has a structure, and that structure can be known, it can be changed. What might the possibilities be if you can change the structure of your experiences? Bandler and Grinder wanted to find out. They began modeling outlier therapists who were getting extraordinary results. These therapists were outliers because they didn't fit the academic model of the psychologist and therapist of their time. Psychology in the early 1970s was more theoretical than practical. While these outlier therapists were educated and knew theory well, they had little use for it. They were getting results with clients that often looked like magic, which got the attention of Bandler and Grinder. They wanted to find the structure behind these transformations, model it, and test if they could replicate the results. They modeled these outlier therapists for years. Because no one else was doing anything like this, they called it meta. The group of students working with Bandler and Grinder were known as the Meta Group. However, in 1975, Bandler and Grinder finally gave it the name that it would become both famous and notoriously known for: Neuro Linguistic Programming, NLP. Neuro, meaning how we take in information through our five senses. Linguistic, how language maps our reality. Programming, the automatic, mostly unconscious programs that run our lives. By going meta to our programming, we can change it. Instead of the programs running you, you run the programs. So how does one go meta to the unconscious processes that program your reality? The first step is knowing they're there. Let's start with a few analogies. Take movies. You watch a movie, enjoy it, and move on. Film critics, though, go meta to movies. They extract meaning. They're not just watching the movie, they're contemplating what it means at a level most moviegoers aren't consciously thinking about. Each critic will have different interpretations and opinions, which indicates that there is no ultimate truth when it comes to what the movie means. Like the reality you're experiencing right now, it's subjective. Another way to go meta to a movie is breaking down its structure. An editor breaks down cuts, pacing, visual rhythm. Similar to the critic, they're going to a level of abstraction above the content. That enables them to change the meaning the viewer will experience while watching the movie with simple edits to the structure. You can actually find examples of this here on YouTube. Editors will take a scene from a horror movie and re-edit it to feel like a comedy. The content stays the same, but the change in structure changes the meaning you make of what you're seeing. Your experiences work the same way. Here's a concrete example. Let's say you tell me that your boss yelled at you. That's content. You're not going meta, you're communicating what happened. But what if I ask you, how do you represent that experience in your mind? Is it a big image or small, bright or dim? Do you see it or hear it? Or both? Now we're moving into structure. We're going meta. And we can go further. We can alter the structure, make that image smaller, make it darker, move the internal voice behind you. When we make these meta level changes to structure, it changes how you feel about the content itself. This is the mistake. People try to change content without changing structure. This is why most interventions don't work long term. Going meta allows us to change structure, which is faster and easier than trying to change content. When you shift attention from content to structure, you're no longer inside the experience. You're modeling the process that created it. It is this meta perspective that enables you to change it. Understanding structure means you're operating at a level about the content, not inside it. This is why NLP produces change so fast. You don't analyze or debate content. You adjust the underlying organization that holds the content in place. As my mentor Steve Andreas would say, you can keep all of your memories, but change how you represent them, and your experience completely changes. So what happens when you apply this to your experience of yourself? In other words, your identity. Everything I just said about going meta applies. Your identity, also known as your self-concept, is a massive generalization built upon smaller generalizations about who you are. If you try to shift identity by focusing on content, it's like running into a stone wall. How can you shift when all of your memories and beliefs stay exactly as they are? You don't. Even if you hit it with several years of therapy and 10,000 hours of manifestation, you're stuck. Steve Andreas created a specific NLP model for this, the most powerful model to transform your identity. He modeled how we create our sense of self by going meta to it. When you know the structure of your lived experiences, you can change it, which means you can change who you are. Remember the film editor analogy and how an editor can completely change the meaning of a film with simple edits? Imagine being able to do the same thing with your identity. Imagine what it would be like to change what you believe about yourself and how you feel about yourself by changing how your memories are organized. How would your life change if you could transform into the person you want to be? You keep the same memories, but change how you represent them. Suddenly, how you feel about yourself completely changes. Sound too good to be true? Here's an example of how this works. If you watch a scary movie on a big cinema screen with the volume turned up, you'll be more afraid than if you watch the same movie on a tiny screen far away with the volume turned low. The content stays the same, but the structure changes, so your fear goes away. Likewise, if you take all of your memories that represent who you want to be and you tune the structure up so they are extremely compelling, your identity will shift. Your fears will go away, and now you're living your highest potential. This is the part that takes some getting used to. It's not difficult to understand, but it's counterintuitive. And it's worth your time and attention to understand it because the stakes are high. It's the difference between living a rewarding and fulfilling life or never truly fulfilling your potential. Who you are is not an objective truth. It's a perception you have about yourself. Everyone who knows you has their own perception of who you are. So what's actually true? You'll never know for certain. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually the beauty and wonder of being human. Because if your identity is not an objective fact, it can be changed, shifted, and transformed. You're only living one of about 1 million possibilities of who you could be. When you see those possibilities, which is what going meta is all about, you can become the version of who you want to be. The reason I teach the self-concept model is because it works, and it works fast. When I had my first transformation, which I will share with you in a moment, I was amazed at how quickly I shifted. Right away, I understood the life-changing possibilities I suddenly had within my grasp. Life has never been the same since. Before I describe my first transformation, if you're ready to shift your identity, check the description below. You'll find a free PDF where I lay out this structure. It's a map for mapping your identity and transforming your beliefs about yourself. The first step to shift your identity, you find a quality, a generalization about an aspect of who you are, a quality that feels extremely certain and that you like about yourself. You model the structure of that quality. For my first transformation, I chose to model persistence. It's a quality that I've always felt certain that I possessed, and I also like that about myself. I went meta to that quality to find the structure of it. It's the structure of your qualities that you feel certain about that holds the key to organizing information from your lived experiences in a way that creates certainty in your identity. Once I had that structure, I looked at my values. An important one to me was gratitude, but I felt ambiguous about being a grateful person. Sometimes I felt grateful, and sometimes not. I value gratitude highly, so I wanted to transform it into a certain and solid quality of my identity. When you value a quality like grateful, successful, or happy, and you don't believe you are that quality, you suffer. Your self-esteem drops, you believe you can't, so you don't try, and therefore you won't fulfill your potential. So I sat down for my first transformation. In under an hour, I accessed examples of when I was grateful and moved that information into the structure of my positive template, the one I had elicited from persistence. Immediately, I felt the shift. As I transformed the painful memories of times I was ungrateful and moved them into my positive template, I became emotional. The shift was profound. Suddenly, I was overcome with immense gratitude, unlike I had ever experienced before. Then insights poured in. I realized the times I was least grateful were setups for tremendous falls and losses. What we take for granted, we often lose. What we're grateful for grows. By the time I was done, I felt completely different. My identity had shifted so radically that I knew my life was never going to be the same. A few months and several transformations later, having also successfully guided others through transformation, I knew this was going to be my calling for the rest of my life, to share this model with as many people as I possibly can. It's become my purpose and what has defined my career. I have never come across anything that even comes close to the power of the self-concept model for transformation and for creating and living a fulfilling life. In a moment, I'm going to walk you through the meditation I mentioned earlier. Don't worry about taking notes. It's all in the Transforming Beliefs PDF in the description of this video. And now for the meditation. This will give you a taste of where you start to shift your identity. Put your feet flat on the floor. Take a deep breath. What comes to mind when you ask, how do I know who I am? When you think about who you are and all the qualities that make up who you are, choose one. Among all your qualities, which one feels most certain? This isn't about comparing yourself to anyone else. Choose a quality among all of your qualities that feels more certain than most. Loving, successful, intelligent, persistent, fun, playful. What feels very certain and that you like about yourself? Once you've chosen one, breathe deeply, relax. Enjoy this. Notice how many examples come up when you think about how you know you are this quality. 5, 10, hundreds? Just notice. Where are they located in your personal space? Point to them. Directly in front? To your left? Right? Above? Below? When you access those examples, do you access them one at a time? All at once? A few at a time? What modalities do you use? Are you seeing them? Hearing them? Both? Feeling touch sensations? When you access these examples, the lived evidence of your quality, are you associated or disassociated? Do you see yourself in them, like watching a video? Or do you see through your own eyes, point of view perspective? If point of view, is it a flat image? Or do you step into the memory, reliving it? What voices do you hear? Your own? Someone else's? How big are the images? Color or black and white? Far away? or close? If you're getting auditory information, what's the volume? High or low? What's the tone? High-pitched or deep? Melodic? Are you getting touch sensations? Smooth or rough? Warm or cold? You could spend endless time exploring this. Once you know the structure, you're going meta. And when you go meta, you can shift your identity. This is just scratching the surface. It's where you begin to transform yourself. If you're interested in going deeper, get that free PDF in the description below. It walks you through the structure so you can start mapping your own identity and making the shifts you want. And here's a question. If you could only transform one quality, just one, which would make the biggest difference in your life? I've got an answer in this next video. If you'd like to transform yourself in just 30 days, so much that you become unrecognizable, watch this video right here.